Out of 999 ideas, there is bound to have one that is truly remarkable and changes the way that people look at things. Today, we are grateful enough to see that idea being in fruition thanks to you and your company, where it solves major pain points of a regular investor trying to invest in gold by providing investors a safe and transparent platform for them to buy, trade, sell gold. In addition to that, BitGold has come up with a revolutionary feature where it allows consumers or investors on their platform to use gold as a currency for on a day-to-day basis for microtransactions. That means you could buy the bread that you want from a convenience store using gold as a currency. With it being so exciting, this innovative idea is still at its beta stage. It's still at its infancy stage, where it's still very new to the market. So then the question arises, how can we help you build trust among your consumers for us to expand and grow? In order for us to do that, we first have to look at where BitGold is currently positioned and where we want to be in the future. So from the case, we understand that BitGold is currently at its infancy stage or beta, and what it means by this is still at its early stage in its business life cycle, where our customers that we get are through an invite-only system. And because of that, we have a limited pool of resources that we can obtain revenue from. And it also does not help that we have limited capital funding for our operating expenses. However, we believe that the idea of BitGold is truly revolutionary and it has a very bright future ahead of it. And that is why we believe in the future, the next phase of BitGold's growth will be the first stage of a growth of its business life cycle. We also believe that BitGold will be open to the public and it will be expanded in its services and product offerings to the US market. We also believe that that BitGold will be listed in the Toronto Stock Exchange and also a mainstream adoption of using BitGold as its currency. However, in order for us to reach our future, there are a few challenges to climb. There are a total of 3 of them. And these are, number 1, the lack of governmental regulations. Number 2, the lack of trust towards new ideas. And number 3, the uncertain acceptance rate towards this new idea. And the reason why these are challenges is because the lack of trust brings a lack of consumers. People are not always willing to try new ideas. People are always waiting for somebody to try it out first. And if that somebody tries it out, they hope then only they will feel more comfortable of trying it out. In addition to that, the lack of government regulations has provided us this advantage, as it does not help us build that level of trust needed for us to conduct our business with our potential consumers. It also proves to be, in our consumers' point of view, to be lacking the policies and regulations needed for the consumers to stay and feel safe when using our platform. However, we do have solutions in order for us to climb these challenges. And we have labeled them as our 3-pronged strategy, where each strategy complements one another in order for us to accomplish our goals. The first strategy is bit by bit, where we focus on expanding into the US, when we talk about our penetration and our marketing strategies when we expand into the US market. The second strategy is BitGold, a safe bet. And what we plan to do here is to build a trustworthy image for BitGold through policies amendments and also through getting the right partners on board. Next, the final strategy is hand in hand with BitGold. And the very essence of this strategy is to work hand in hand together and take a very proactive approach in building these regulations and policies with governmental bodies. With these three strategies, we believe we'll be able to climb these challenges that are present to us in BitGold. So in order for us to walk you through the rest of our presentation today and tell you why and how we're going to climb these 3 challenges, we're going to tell you more about BitGold in its essence. So we're going to speak to you first about its business model, then give you a situational analysis of what and where we're currently operating in. Then we'll move on to the strategies and the implementation plan, followed by the risk and mitigations that is associated with these plans. And finally, we will talk about the key outcomes, which is also can be known as impact. So let's first start with this presentation on talking about BitGold. Now, the idea of BitGold arose when consumers, professional investors, were looking to invest in gold in a legal and transparent way but couldn't find a platform to do it. And because of that, they had four major pain points. The first one is the difficulty of buying, selling, and trading gold. It was very difficult back then to do so because they had many complex processes involved. In addition to that, there were high security risks involved in storing gold. Gold is a rare commodity, and a lot of people were looking for it. Theft was a huge threat to its security. Another pain point for customers was its low transparency when purchasing gold. Very so often you could see people underwriting gold purchases or even get scammed by the fact that they are not purchasing real gold, the 999 top-notch gold, but instead purchasing a metal that is just plated with gold. And finally, gold is not a commonly used currency for microtransactions. We don't see gold being used as a daily currency for day-to-day transactions. However, we realize that with these pain points, and if you will be able to solve it, you'll be able to gain a very good opportunity. And that is what BitGold has done. They have provided easy access to gold, safe insured gold storage, a secured technology and real-time audits in order to combat the low transparency, and finally, using gold as a digital currency. With that, all together, the idea of BitGold was created.
To give an overview of how BitGold works, we look at their business model in depth. We separated them into three key parts: customers, key features, and technologies. Offering key features to our customers, we get a revenue stream of 1% of the price of gold that they exchange. And customers that interact with our technology forms long-term relationships based on security as well as transparency, which is vital in the fintech industry. And innovatively, we have came up with an integration of our key features and the existing technology that we leverage on, and come up with an innovative way in which customers can spend their gold. And to look at how it is done, we go through the processes that customers go through when they exchange gold. After exchanging currency for gold, they can use that gold to exchange. They can use the gold as a currency during microtransactions with merchants, whereby transactions will be recorded through our technology, to our blockchain technology, which not only offers low cost but also safe and transparent model. We will now look into what our competitors offer in the industry. Exchanging currencies for gold, storage space for the gold that they buy, as well as using gold as a payment method are the criteria that we use to compare our competitors. Now, we see from our business model that BitGold wins in terms of allowing customers to use gold as a currency for microtransactions. Now, with the business model we analyzed, we have come up with current limitations in terms of both sustainability as well as scalability. Now, from sustainability, we see that we need a huge number of customers as well as merchants to keep the business model going in Canada. We need to have pure control over our operations as well as good brand reputation in order to get customers on board. With the fintech industry being premature, government policies and legislations are still in the early phases. Scalability talks about the ability to reach global heights as well as localized products to offer a standardized experience. And therefore, with our three-pronged strategy, we believe that we can achieve both the sustainability as well as scalability element of our business model. Now we'll present to you the conditions that we need in order for BitGold to achieve what they want in their future. Firstly, customer acceptance. We need customers to accept that this new idea will work in the current environment. This is because with the low level of government legislation as well as policies, we are aware that the customers' trust are of vital importance when it comes to getting customers on board with BitGold. Safety is also a very key issue because with the lack of government policies, customers will feel that their investments or their use of our platform are with high risk and therefore would potentially affect the use of our platform. And legitimacy comes when a platform is approved by a government body. And with the current situation, the risky current environment of fintech, we expect that credibility of our platform will be an issue. And therefore, we try to solve these issues by not only improving the trustworthiness of our platform, increasing the awareness and the knowledge of how our platform works, as well as increasing credibility through good brand image promotions. We believe that BitGold can move from their current positions to the future that we envision for them. And how do we do that? Now I will present our solutions.
Okay, so we're presenting about our first strategy that suggested by our team is a BitGold, a safe bet. It actually is a startup approach to create a trustworthy brand image among customers. The reason why we call out this strategy is to build trust, because actually for BitGold, trustworthy is very important to customers to trust our brands. The second is about to boost up the acceptance rates of the customer using the BitGold. So we have three pillars to explain how we conduct this strategy. The first one is heavily publicize the appointment of an independent auditors and compliance of the code of governance. We need to make sure the financial statements is being audited to increase the credibility of BitGold. The second pillar is build and maintain a professional website. Customer with the assisting of a professional website, customer can acquire all the information they require from our company. Thus, they can feel confidence all the things that the money invested in our company is secure. So the third pillar is involved heavily building local societies. They can do donations, sponsorship to local activities to increase our brand awareness, to make it more trustworthy to the customers. So what is the impact of these strategies? Is to increase the user base of our BitGold, and others is create a positive brand image. So next, I talk about the second strategy, which is a hand in hand with BitGold. It actually is a proactive involvement, is lobbying the regulations and the policies to get a bright futures for fintechs and the people. Why the reason we conduct these strategies is to build trust. The second is increase the acceptance rates of our BitGold, and third is the pro fintech policies. So how will we conduct these strategies? There are four pillars. The very first pillar is to set up teams of lobbyists. We need to plan how to lobby with the governments and what is the relevant regulations we suggest to them. And second is schedule regular meetings with the state or many governments, see what is the perspective and what is the mutual exclusive of different opinions from the governments or many state governments and between our companies. The third pillar is follow up consistency. We need to make the momentums consistently. And the fourth pillars is build up a community of pro fintech lobbies. And what is the impact of this strategy? It's actually to help us to have a greater controls and freedom to operate. Such that with the regulation actually is like restrict ourselves to do some things. If we conduct a proactive strategies compared to our competitors, we have the privilege to have a greater controls and freedom to operate our own business, which is to gain privilege against our competitors. So the second impact is like positive brand recognition, and of course, we tend to boost up the user base as well. So last but not least, let me introduce about the last strategies, bit by bit. It's a step-by-step approach to penetrate and expand into the US market. So why this market? It's because we need to expand the market reach to get more users, to get more brand awareness in US. And of course, US is the most nearest and a relatively larger markets compared to Canada. So how we conduct these strategies, there are got three pillars. The first thing is that localize the product offerings to meet the local needs. We need to understand what the US market, US people needs, and we try to fit what they need. And the second pillar is that build awareness and educate consumers. How do we conduct this? Actually, we can conduct a conference, educate what is the benefit of BitGold, and make the awareness towards the community in the US market. And the third is streamless customers experience. So what is the impact? It's actually, of course, we need to boost up the consumer base and the positive brand recognition. So next, I will further talk about the implementation of our three strategies respectively. So for the BitGold and the Safe Bit, we conduct a 3 years timeline. What we need to do in the 3 years, we need to make sure the establishment of a professional website, build a local activities, and the independence audit. And for the implementation of the second strategies, is set up a team of lobbyists, of course. And the second is like conduct a regular meeting to follow up what is the improvements and conduct a review sections. And the third is build up a community at the pro fintech lobbies. And the implementation of the third bit by bit, the strategy bit by bit. During the first year, we need to localize the product offering to meet localized. We need to conduct research, surveys, see what is the local needs of our products, and offering an adequate product to them. Second and third years, we need to build awareness through doing advertisements on social medias, televisions. And second is to educate the consumers like how to use our BitGold and what is the benefit of using a BitGold to the conference or seminars, and of course the shameless customer experience. So next, I'll further talk about the risks and mitigations of our strategies. So for the very first risk is a low adoption rate of customers. Since we are relative new products, it's really difficult to persuade customers to accept our service and the prior of stage. So one of the mitigation is that get a well-known brand ambassadors to become to onboard. Like we can doing some advertisements on supporting some football teams. And the second risk is about unfavorable policy and regulations. We couldn't control and influence the regulations being set up. So what we need to do is like increase the lobbying activities with the state government, with the local governments. And the risk is the failure to localize the product. It's really difficult when you penetrate a new market and you localize the products immediately. So what we can do is to hire the locals managers and team to conduct surveys, market research, to bring out adequate localized products. And the fourth risk is a high cost of expansions. When you try to expand an all new markets, what you need is funds. So what we can do, we conduct a very good proposals to the banker, to the institution investor, to get through the debt or equity fundings. And the very last risk is the global competitors. When we penetrate to the US market, which means we become a multinational company, we need to compete with the all global competitors. So what is the mitigation is like form strategic collaborations or partnership with the local firms to know better about the local markets and leverage on them to develop our own customer base. So
with all those three strategies being discussed, we will be able to solve the three key challenges that we had to climb. Let me just walk you through a recap of those three strategies by first telling you what were the challenges in the beginning, which is the first, the lack of government regulations that we had, the lack of trust towards new ideas, and also the uncertain acceptance rate for these new ideas. And the three strategies that we have in plan, our three-pronged strategy, was the bit by bit, BitGold, a safe bit, and then hand in hand with BitGold. And what we plan to do here is that we will be able to build trust with the consumers and also be able to build up government regulations and policies that are pro-fintech community, and also penetrate a very big market in the US market. And the reasons why we're doing this is because we feel it is very important for us to first establish trust among the hearts and minds of consumers in order for them to feel more inclined to purchase or use our service for our services. And because of this, we believe that through these three strategies that we have, we will be able to climb these challenges that are posed and be able to reach our future of seeing a brighter BitGold. That is all from Toying UCSI. Thank you.